Hey guys, welcome back. I know it has been a little bit of time since you saw me last, and I do apologise, but however I am back and there's nothing you can do to stop me. So as you would have known, or if you didn't, I was in the first ever Face Awards for Australia and New Zealand, and in that I did get sent a lot of makeup. And one problem with a lot of makeup is it takes up a lot of space. So I have been going through and depotting a lot of my NYX products, including their eyeshadows, their blushes and their Primal Colours, and just putting them into magnetic cases, I guess is what they're called. I'm not too sure. But if you are also in the same predicament as I was and have too much makeup and not enough space, and want to kind of declutter your makeup, then stay watching. Now just a little disclaimer at the start of this. Doing this is at your own risk. This is just how I do it. There is, of course, a chance when you do try and take makeup out of its correct packaging that you will damage the makeup. Now, I will show you a way to save any crumbled makeup, but it, of course, doesn't always look as nice as it did in the first place. Now, that doesn't necessarily bother me. It may bother you. So if you do not wish to damage your products, then of course I would recommend keeping it in the package that you bought it in. However, I would prefer them to be out of single packages and into one single palette. So for this, you will want tweezers, scissors, a metal spatula of sorts. This is just a cheaper one. Ooh, let's see if I can get it focused. It's just a cheaper one off eBay. You'll of course want a lighter. Now I do recommend if you are young, get somebody older to help you do this, as you are working with fire and plastic and it can get very hot. And you do not want to burn yourself, as well as whenever you go to melt plastic, you do of course create fumes. So doing it in a nice open area would also be advised. Now not all little makeup containers are magnetic. So I have gone ahead and bought some little magnetic stick-on pieces. I think these are on eBay, reasonably cheap. Can't remember, I bought them that long ago, sorry guys. As well as you will want little stick-on stickers. Just little stickers, I guess you don't really need them to be stick-on, as stickers are already stick-on. Just so you can, of course, write down the name of the colour in case you want to buy them in the future. If that does not bother you, then you do not need to put a sticker on the back. In case you are still confused as to what I'm talking about, this, I'll try and get it without, is what I'm talking about, taking all the eyeshadows out and putting them all individually in a palette. Let's try and take one out. That's just got a sticker and a bit of magnet on the back, and it stays in there. Now I will show you one that was damaged in the process. So this was damaged in the process, and you can see that it does not look nice and flat anymore. That, however, does not bother me. As long as it still does its job, then I'm okay with that. Now if you do happen to damage the makeup, you will want some 99% alcohol. I'm not sure if any lower percentage will work or not, as that is all that I have used. You will want some paper towel of sorts, and that is all. So to get started, you will want to take off any excess packaging that is on there. So next is you just want to open it. Now if you look right, I'll see if you guys can see, right here in the little gap, you will find a little bit of a section where these two join. Because at the moment, this eyeshadow is sitting in a metal container and also in a plastic container before it is connected to this whole thing. So what we want to do now is disconnect the plastic container from the big container, and by doing that, you just want to wedge the tweezers underneath and twist until you hear it pop off. And there you go, that is disconnected. Now set that aside, as you will want the name and everything on the back of that to write on this. Flip it over, and you just want to take your lighter. I know, this is dangerous, guys. Ooh, look out. And just hold it on the back until the plastic begins to soften. And guys, be careful of your fingers. Working with fire at all is very dangerous. So please be responsible. Don't do stupid things like put your finger in the flame or touch the plastic, because it's going to be hot. Now you will see the plastic will begin to bubble. I think you can kind of see that in the reflection of the flame there. That is a pretty good indication that it's ready. So you stop doing that, grab this, and begin to push. You will see that separates. Heating the back of this also makes the glue on the back of the little eyeshadow become tacky once again. It then creates that to be soft and pliable, so you can push the actual bit of eyeshadow off the container with no problem at all. Now this is probably the most common place where you will damage the eyeshadow. I have, however, have not damaged it, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now these little magnetic sheets are too big, so you just want to cut them in half. Take that off, stick it on the back. What shape is this? PS05 Mermaid. God, that is a nice colour. And voila, there you go. Straight into the palette it goes. Now I do already have the mermaid shade, so I wasn't too worried whether or not that one got damaged, hence why I was using it as a little tester for you guys. Now for the Primal Colours, you will want to remove this sticker on the back before you go to get it out. And doing so, you will be removing the name and the number of the product, so it is wise to write it down before you actually attack the sticker. So now I found with this, or in your nails, depending on which one's sharper, you can just go in and just make sure not to do this with a knife, as you will end up slipping and cutting your fingers faux show. So now that you have got most of that off, there is one more thing you need to get off before you start, unless you have already opened it, which is this barcode, which NYX, this is the worst place to do it because it gets me every time. I forget that it's there, I try and open it, I'm like, why can't I get into this? This thing is so hard, but then I realize I'm just a dill. So I would recommend opening this beforehand in case for some reason you actually start to melt the lid and it gets too hot. So turning that over, just with the light again, and you just want to put this on the back. That's why I wanted you to get the sticker off before you did this, as it will create more fumes as well as a higher chance that it will catch a light due to it being paper. Now you do need to use quite a bit of force with these. Once you do get that little lip up, you can of course detach the rest of it from it. Whoop. Careful, they can be hot on the back. Now this has come out okay. You can kind of see it on the edge just here. I'll see if I can get it a little bit closer for you. On the edge, it has started to lift up a little bit, which means you want to be very careful with this eyeshadow as it can now detach. If you are worried at all, it's best to put a little bit of alcohol over the top. Now the reason you use alcohol and not just water is because alcohol will evaporate. It also sanitizes, but mostly it evaporates. If you pour water on this, it will evaporate, but not at a fast enough rate, and it will turn it just to pretty much mush. And there you can see how it is wet on one half, and I will come back to you and show you that once it is dried. Now, worst case scenario when getting something out is you will damage it like this, which is not ideal at all. And because I did not have stuff around me when I did damage this, I had to just throw out the product that had fallen, which is very disappointing, but lesson learnt, really. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of alcohol in that and compact it down again. Making sure to push down reasonably firm, otherwise the product may not set back together very well. Now set that aside to dry. Now it is not necessary that you do actually take the stickers off the back. I know I did on the Primal Colours, but that was more for you to be able to see than anything else. You will of course get more fumes if you leave the stickers on, which is not good for your noggin at all. So for the purpose of this one, I will show you that you can do it with the sticker on. However, I would recommend taking the sticker off. Now it does worry me that this sticker is not catching a light. Maybe there is a protective coating over the paper that is not allowing it to catch, I'm not sure. It's a little bit easier. Now the thing is as well, they do all have varying amounts of glue on it, so this one does not have much. Sometimes the glue will be up here, sometimes the glue will be all over. So it all really depends on each individual thing. Sometimes it'll be easy to get out for the fact that the glue's only on one small spot. Other times you will have to work for it quite a bit to get it off. Now these can fit a whole thing on it, put a sticker on it. So there we are with the finished depotted eyeshadows, as in the Prismatics and the Primal Colours. As well as all of the hot single shades. I'm guessing it's all of, I'm really not sure. And here are some of the blushes. I would have liked to have them all in here for you, but my lighter ran out of fluid and I don't know where my other one is, so this is gonna have to be all for the time being, but you guys have got the gist of how to do it. Hopefully, if you do have any questions, of course, leave them below. This is one that I did fix up earlier. It has dried a fair bit. It is not 100% dry yet. I do recommend leaving it for at least 24 hours just to make sure that it is fully dry before putting it on your face, as putting alcohol on your face can of course irritate it, especially around the eyes, and any cuts or anything like that, it will hurt. Now heed my warning, it is horrible. Do not, even the fumes of alcohol near your eyes is not pleasant, guys. So please don't be silly, don't put alcohol near your eyes. But as I said in the start, this is of course done at your own risk. I do not take responsibility for you damaging your products or hurting yourself, as I have given you fair warning that this is not a simple task because these are not made to get out of the container. If you have the space to keep products like this, by all means do so. I do not have that at the moment, so this is the best that I can do. Me personally also, I like to have things all open, all in front of me so I can just create, and having to have several of these open and 30 eyeshadow pots all open at once isn't as easy as just having it all in one palette that you can open and close with ease. Bring my pot in. But that is all for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. No, that was back to front. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video, guys. Bye!